Here's a look at the forecast.
Near blizzard-like conditions still been reported over some parts of Massachusetts and Connecticut. And not only is the heavy additional snow a problem in central Massachusetts, but we also have to deal with those onshore winds, so that has made for coastal. It feels like 25 degrees below zero in Boston. Of course, with the blowing snow, it is miserable, and that's why we have the state of emergency. As Jill mentioned, that means that you don't want to get out and about. You are advised to stay in unless it is absolutely an emergency. We continue to notice the circulation around this area of low pressure, of course, in a clockwise or counterclockwise rotation. That means the winds blowing just like this, the opposite of the hands on your clock or your watch. And you can see the winds out of the northeast for the most part in central Massachusetts down to the New York City area. And the snow has been constantly moderate around the Boston area and central Connecticut and central Massachusetts. Here's a look at the latest radar, which shows still some snow around Boston. Visibilities are still less than 1/4 of a mile, so that indicates the snow has been fairly moderate in the Boston area the last couple of hours. And you can see even down to Philadelphia, we still have reports of snow, and snow all the way to the Delaware coast around Dover and around the nation's capital. We still have reports of snow near the Chesapeake Bay area. So the storm system lingering off the coast of New Jersey. Counterclockwise winds around this area of low pressure. We've had reports of winds in excess of some 20 Boston, up to some 38 miles an hour. And even those northwest winds across parts of the southeast have been gusting up to some 25 and 30 miles an hour, all the way to the southern parts of Florida around Miami. Now those winds blowing the cold air around, so you talk about wind chills some 20 degrees below zero, Bangor River, certainly these were scenes very typical in the Newark area, as we have reports still this morning that the airports are closed in Newark, New York City, LaGuardia, and Long Island. We've had some problems too, of course.
Snowing and blowing all the way down to the deep south. Snow flurries down into Alabama and Georgia. Those are going to ease on up.
That the only thing open in our entire area was the Franklin Institute. Yeah. Everything was closed. Everything was going to be closed, and the Franklin Institute was open. I think I heard Flora at one point say that Disney on Ice would go on, and of course they canceled. Dave?
All right, guys. Well, the snow here on City Line Avenue has actually let up just a little bit. We're starting to see slightly bigger flakes, which generally means it's tapering off just a little bit. But it is still snowing, and the accumulation totals are still going up and up and up. We'll show you those. Let's show you, first of all, a live picture this morning from Center City. And these are some numbers around the region. Philadelphia, officially, 30 inches. That's 2.5 feet of snow from this storm. And obviously it is the all-time record-breaking storm. Souderton is at 30 inches. More than 2 feet rather at McGuire Air Force Base. They're at 27 inches. Wilmington just under 2 feet of snow, 22 inches. So indeed a widespread heavy accumulation of snow. We have a live picture now from Center City, and it's whiteout conditions between my monitor and me here on City Line Avenue, and then whiteout conditions on the camera out there for the 10 o'clock hour out at the airport. 23 degrees is our present temperature. The relative humidity obviously way up at 92%. The barometer continues to just jump up. It's up to 29.47 inches now and still rising rapidly. A good sign, meaning that the heart of the storm is moving away, albeit slowly. The winds out of the north at 24 miles an hour. They're still gusting to 35 miles an hour, and that gives us a wind chill now of -9. So we've seen just a tiny bit of moderation.
Eerie scene of desolation out here on the Schuylkill Expressway. Not Erie, Pennsylvania. This is the Schuylkill between Belmont Avenue and City Line Avenue. Normally jam-packed with traffic. I have lived here all of my life and have never seen it possible for anyone to stand out here on the Schuylkill Expressway. That gives you some idea of the terrible conditions out here right now. That lone pedestrian down there is a man who works for the Inglis House. He is walking home so he can get another car to come in and help some of his fellow employees who are stranded.
Oh, going home to get another vehicle so I can go back to work, because a lot of people wasn't able to show up, and the people at English House need people there for them.
Now, how far away is home?
About 15 minutes away from here.
And you're going to walk all the way down the expressway?
Yeah.
At least you can do that safely today.
Yeah.
There you see one of the very few motorists who've been able to venture out onto the Schuylkill Expressway this morning. The going is tough out here. You may see some bare spots where the pavement is showing, where the plows have been by, but the snow is blowing and drifting, and almost as soon as the plows pass, it starts covering the roadway again. That is why they've been telling you all morning to stay home, to stay off the roads. It is dangerous out here, and only the emergency personnel need to be out here to be able to get people where they need to go. It's a very dangerous situation on the Schuylkill Expressway for this reason as well. If you break down here, cars like the one that just went by are very few and far between, so you're not likely to get any kind of help. You might have to walk out, and it is bitterly cold out here with the wind blowing, so it could be a life-threatening situation. I'm David Henry reporting from the Schuylkill Expressway.